Yo, what's up guys? So we're going to be checking out a bunch of new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but this card is super trollsy, so if you're a troll fan of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, this might be for you. And on top of that, we've got a very powerful monster that a lot of different decks are definitely going to be using. But anyways, let's go ahead and kick it off with the first card I want to talk about, which is actually called Fusion at Dispatch, which is a new spell card over here, and here's what it looks like. And let's go ahead and check out the artwork. And now the effect. So this card is going to let you get any fusion material that you're going to be needing very easily. So this is a normal spell card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You get to reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck, and if you do, you get to spell summon one of the fusion materials whose name is specifically listed on that card from your hand or deck. You cannot spell summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this card, except for fusion monsters. Now, some archetypes, this does not actually affect them at all. It can actually be so good for a lot of different archetypes that really need to get that one specific monster out. Actually, going into Reddit with this, there's a lot of huge things that you can go ahead and actually bring out. You can actually get out like Time Wizard, right? I mean, that could be a card that could potentially get rid of the board. There's a few other troll things like Moki Moki. Again, it has to specifically list it on the card. Checking out other great things. Gladiator Beast stuff would be a lot better, and then also Neos and Yubels could be a lot better because of this. I mean, this card really opens up the doors to a lot of different things, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about this card down below, and what are other really good targets for Fusion Dispatch. But anyways, the next card I want to talk about, actually, we were actually utilizing this in the stream last night in a Light Swarm build, which this is going to make it easy, free extra damage. So this card is called the Arc Nemesis as Chatos. This card is a better version of Tribe Infecting Virus over here for the most part. So anyways, it is a Light Dragon special summon effect with level being 11 with 3000 attack, and it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be first special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 monsters with different types that are face up on your field or in your graveyard. You can only use the second effect of this card's name only once per turn. So the first effect is this card on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. So already a very powerful monster with 3000 attack to back that up. This is great. And then the second effect is you get to declare one monster type from among monsters on the field. Destroy all monsters of that type on the field. Also, neither player can special monsters of that type until the end of the next turn. So this can completely shut down someone. You could almost OTK people with this. In fact, what we were doing in Light Swarm, because there are so many different card types, you're easily able to summon this. And then on top of that, well, first you summon JD, pop everything, or you can use this card maybe as bait to pop all of the other monster effects, because remember, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, so therefore your opponent can't really stop it via a lot of different effects. So you get rid of everything else, and then on top of that, you get to go ahead and call something, and then you can shut down your opponent. If they're playing a dragon deck, just go ahead and call dragons. You can go ahead and just call machines. So there's like so many different monster types that you literally can call, and you basically stun your opponent. This card is so good. It can technically break boards. It's immune to destruction, and on top of that, it stuns them for making it so your opponent can't go for cards the next turn. I think this card is definitely going to be secret rare, and it's amazing card nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts on that. Next up, we have a new Void card. This is Void Calamity as a continuous spell card. Now, this card could actually be utilized in Infernoid decks, but anyways, it says you can only use the first effect amongst the first and second effects of this card's name. Wow, per turn and only once that turn. So the first effect is to discard one card to send one fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. Obviously, Street Patrol is really good. Any of the Infernities, great. It lets you discard a card as well. The second effect is you get to send this face-up card in your Spell and Trap Zone to the graveyard to send Infernoid monsters with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard up to the number of monsters your opponent controls that were special summoned from the extra deck, which is usually about 2 to 3 maybe if your opponent goes first. That is if they do not negate this. You have a card that can instantly force a negation, or you go ahead and get a lot of free extra advantage on your opponent over there with that card. Now, this card is definitely trollsy. This is Hold by the Grave, and I think it's a pretty decent card as well. So here's the artwork on this, and it says it's called Hold by the Grave, or Grave Hold, the Grave Hold. They were changing the names, by the way, on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, so search up all of these because some of them might be changing as time progresses. The translation might get better, or whatever the case may be. Because I was trying out this card last night, and again, the name did change. Anyways, normal trap card that says when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or in the graveyard, or that is banished, negate that effect, and if you do, your opponent takes 2000 damage. So that is so good, and it says yes, you can use it with trap tricks. But nonetheless, this card is so great, just being able to not only stop your opponent from getting that effect because you're negating it, but you're also making them take 2,000 points of damage. And guys, remember that new Ghost Girl hand trap? That also makes your opponent take some extra burn damage. So potentially with this and another card, you can easily make your opponent take like 4,000 points of damage. So you can easily maybe make burn a more viable option, because a lot of times with the burn decks, they don't negate too many things. They just kind of go ahead and activate themselves and they do damage. But you're going to be able to do that. And I think that burn might be something to kind of be on the lookout for. Again, maybe Chain Strike will be more viable. Again, looking at it in the OCG. But nonetheless, guys, those are the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Let me know your thoughts down below on any of the ones that we talked about. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you guys are new here, hit subscribe, turn on that bell so you don't miss out when we cover the next set of cards from Eternity Code. And also, I'll be giving you guys gameplay very soon of a bunch of these cards. If you guys want to send me in other replays of any of these in action, I think this card will again open up the door. This is the fusion card where you're able to go ahead and just special summon the monsters like Yubel, or Glad Beast, or so many other options. I'll get you guys gameplay of that very soon. But like I said, if you want to send me in it first, I'll give you a shout out. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.